Everyone loves to talk about how you can make $100 to $400 a day doing field inspections, even me. And that is true. But there may be a lot that you don't know. So today we're going to talk about what really happens behind those numbers. The good, the bad, and the financial surprises that comes with this business. So let's just get to it. Of course, you need to know that the first thing we're going to talk about is the income, because the income may not be always consistent. You may, of course, make $4K in a month, but then that next month, there's a possibility that you can make $2K or $3K. It can fluctuate, most definitely, when it comes to doing field inspections. And the reason for the fluctuation is because of the work that we're doing. Never expect to always make the same exact amount of money each week, because most of the time it will not work out that way. So we're going to get into that so that you guys can be aware, especially all of you who are new to doing field inspection, as to why these things occur and all of the things that you need to look out for. You see, your work volume is going to depend on three major things: your location, the season, and the demand. And I can definitely tell you that over the holiday season, things will slow down because the files slow down. And the files slow down because the carriers are not in need of any inspectors at the moment. And the issue may not be because there's no inspections that need to be done. I'm pretty sure that there are plenty of inspections that need to be done. But people go on vacation. People take time off. Agencies close. The banks close. You guys know what happens during the holiday season. And when things slow down, they slow down. And you can't compare it at all to a 9 to 5, because when you're working a 9 to 5, you already know that a lot of them will have you work through the holiday on the holiday. And then you have to put in to be off on the holiday. And 9 times out of 10, if someone there has seniority, you won't get off on the holiday. So your money is more stable. But when you're working for yourself, which is what we're doing as a field inspector, there is a strong chance that your money will slow down, especially during the holiday seasons. Your money will slow down during bad weather. If there's really bad weather in your area, it can completely stop your inspections. And I can be a witness to that as well. When we had the fire here the last time, the inspections slowed down so much. I was literally on minimum wage. These are the things that you can expect to happen based off where you live, definitely as well, because you may live in an area where, of course, the workload is just not coming in. And it may start picking up real good for you and have you thinking that you're going to have all of this work coming in every month, and then the next month things slow down because there really just isn't that much work in your area. You just might have had a good month. So these are some things that, just in case you didn't know, some of the other people that you may be listening to are not telling you. Today, you are going to hear the truth, and you will know exactly what to expect when it comes to being a field inspector. And we could talk about the clients as well. The clients may not send the jobs when you think they're going to send them. They may send them in waves, and it doesn't matter, feast or famine for you. They don't care if you are half starving or if you have food stocked up through to the next winter. They don't care. At the end of the day, it's not their job to care. They are the ones who are providing you with the files. They are the ones who are giving you these inspections to go out and get done. And it is up to you to make sure that you have enough work coming in. And if you don't have enough work coming in, then you may want to consider having something else on the side until you can get things together as far as being a field inspector, because it gets real out here. So you want to know how real it gets? Let's just move on to how often we're getting paid. Some inspectors are under the impression that you could just clearly make $1,000 every week. Now, I know that I have preached this and I have talked about how you could be consistent enough to actually start making $1,000 every single week. I know that, but all of that is going to come at a cost, and at a cost to you. And your determination, and sometimes your determination is just not going to be good enough. And you know what? It ain't even just about field inspection. You could be doing anything else in your life outside of working a 9 to 5. And where you live, your environment, your location, everything is going to play a part in how much money you will be able to make each and every day, let alone each and every month. And then, of course, there is no guarantee of getting daily jobs, like daily work being uploaded into your system. There's no guarantee you're going to get work every single day. When you first get started, they want to make sure that you can actually even do this job. So don't get under the impression that when you first get started, you can actually going to just stop that right there. Because I know that there are a lot of people out here who get extremely lucky out the gate. And they take off running and they start making the money. But all of that, as I said before, I'm pretty sure is determined by where they live and the demand of needing these inspections to be done. So now here's one I know that a lot of you probably was not even aware of it. You may have to wait on when you get paid because every company is not going to pay every week. Some of them have net 40. I've even talked to someone who said they worked for one and it was net 30. That means every 2 weeks or once every month. So now if those are the only companies that you have managed to sign up for and they are making you wait 2 weeks for your income to come in, now you're low on income, especially if you have not saved anything before you started doing field inspections. And you'll find yourself waiting just to get your bills paid. There are just so many different things that could actually occur when it comes to being an entrepreneur. You can start making $1,000 a week and then some unforeseen event, some sort of tragic happened in your family, something, anything for your car, whatever you may have going on. And then the next week you find yourself, you can't work at all. And we all know that if you don't work, you don't get paid. So now not only were you waiting on your pay, but now the next following week, you're not getting paid. There's no bereavement. There's no paid vacations. There's none of these things. You have to make sure you have your money set aside to be able to do the things that you need to do in your life or they won't get done. So as far as working a 9 to 5 and asking for time off for vacation, you know it's coming, even if you have to wait on it. But when you're working for yourself, especially when you reach those times of the year or those seasons when the money starts drying up and the inspections are not coming the way you wish that they were coming, there's a possibility that that vacation that you probably set, you'll find yourself as your own boss telling yourself, no, I can't go. Because the cash flow problems can get real. And this is a fact. Unless, of course, you have a substantial savings or something up under your belt that is going to be able to hold you down through those rough weeks or even possibly those rough months. So now let's talk about what we have to pay for. As an entrepreneur, as a field inspector, you are paying for everything. You're paying for your gas. You're paying for your expenses, all of your expenses, all of your car repairs, your printers, your paper, everything that is required of you to do your job. If you have to buy a new laptop, whatever, your phone bill, everything is being handled by you. And of course, I know a lot of you are probably saying, well, I pay for those anyway. But it's totally different from a 9 to 5. When you go to work at a 9 to 5, you don't pay for the computer. You use their computer. You don't pay for the phone. You use their phone. You don't have to pay for those things. I'm talking about business equipment that you're using that you are required to have each and every day in order for you to get this work done. And all of it comes out of your pocket. Now, sure, you can write these things off when tax time comes. You can definitely do that. But just be prepared to be able to handle your own business during the year beforehand. Because no one is going to be able to do it for you or to pick up the pieces for you. It's something that you have to take care of as an independent contractor. And a lot of you are already complaining about gas. Those of you who are already doing this, you're complaining about gas. That you've talked about that on several occasions about how much gas you're blowing out of your tank, how much money you're spending on gas. And if you're going to do an inspection somewhere and it's way off and they're paying you $150 to do this inspection, and you go do it, when you go to thinking about gas, especially if you're not riding in some sort of gas saver or some sort of electrically charged vehicle, you may be ending up at the end of the day with only $90 versus the $150. And that's because you got to put half of that back in the tank. So think about all of those things. Now, I'm not saying any of this to deter anybody from being an inspector. What I am doing, though, is telling you the truth. The truth about being an entrepreneur. The truth about being 1099, working for yourself. This is most definitely not a game. And I know a lot of you already aware what comes with this type of work. So now let's talk about taxes and how they will slip up on you. Okay, I am a witness. Those taxes will slip up on you. And as an independent contractor, please remember that you are responsible for putting aside money for your taxes because they are coming for it. So those of you who are all concerned about trying to make 4K, 7K, 8K, those of you who are listening to me who are making 10K a month because you are working. Do you hear me? You are doing it. And I don't even know where you even get time to sleep. But for those of you who are doing this, and those of you who want to make that much money, you need to know that if you constantly make that amount of money every single month, by the end of the year, they're coming for you. And it's a lot of money that can populate throughout the year that'll make you have to pay when tax time comes. And there is no way that you can write off every single thing that you have done as a field inspector to keep from paying any taxes. So let's do the math on it really quick. Let's do the math on it because we know that I know, I know. If I'm going to make $4,000 a month doing field inspection, I need to at least attempt to save at least anywhere from 20 to maybe 30% of that income so that I could be prepared for tax time. Just in case I cannot get as much written off as I would like to. Because you can write off your gas, you can write off your car expenses, you can write off your car insurance, you can write off your home office if you have space that you're using particularly only for that, and extra space that goes along with that. Anyway, your CPA will tell you that. They'll tell you everything that you could possibly write off. But just make sure that you get you one, or at least someone who could definitely help you out when tax time comes. And those quarterly tax things that you guys have been hearing about, that is real, okay? Because when I first signed up for my EIN, it started coming in my mail. And those of few of you who I've talked to, you guys already know my story on that. So we're not going to get into that. But anyway, they come in the mail every quarter, and they're expecting you to do your taxes every quarter. You don't have to do them every quarter if you're not doing an EIN, as far as I know. All I know is that how it's done here, okay? But at the end of the year, that is a lot of money. Because 20%, not 30, just 20% of $4,000 each month is $800. So now if you were making $4,000 a month on a 9-to-5, and that's exactly the amount that you were making, 9 times out of 10, when tax time comes, they're probably pulling more than that between those 4 weeks from your check. But 20%, we're looking at about $800 in that month. And most of us are not able to save up that complete $800 every month, especially if you have children and bills that you're trying to handle. Because 8,000 times 12 months, you're looking at about $9,600. We're not even going to do the math on that 30%. Do not forget that they're coming for you. So yes, being a field inspector can be great because I love being a field inspector, especially being able to make 3K, 4K and over every month. But it's not all easy money. And I felt like you had to know the full picture in order to really succeed in this field. And that is why I wanted to bring you this. And that's real talk. Because a lot of people are under the impression that it's just taking pictures. And it's a whole lot more to this than taking pictures, believe me. So now I hope this information that I brought to you has helped you in some sort of way. If you've liked the information that I've given you today, please feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on all of your notification bells, because you know I will be bringing you back something later. Thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.